Well, today I got to shoot some grade and see how high I still am and mark it. And to do that, I'm going to get this builder's level. I think it's also called like a transit level, maybe. Get it set up real fast. And I am doing it by myself, which is way less than ideal, but gotta do what I got to. So the way to set it up is pretty simple. I'm gonna put this at the 0 degree mark right here, and I can put it anywhere. It doesn't have to be there. Actually, I'll do it like that. It's a little bit easier because I'm in line with these two adjustments. And then I don't know if we can see it, but I come over here and that's obviously out of level, so I twist these two at the same time until it goes to level, which is about right there. And then I rotate this 90 degrees either way, so it'll be at 270 here. That shows me 90, and now I'm off here, so I have to adjust this one up or down, I mean, until it's level. And then I just keep repeating the process until it's level both ways. All right, that looks good. So with this type of level, there's a sight glass that I looked through, and it's magnified by like 20 times. And it shoots my grade rod. So this is my grade rod, and it extends. And normally you'd have two people doing this, but I don't have two people. But what I do have is a tripod, and I have this attachment that can kind of hold it halfway. It won't hold it perfectly because this doesn't get small enough, but I can set it about where I need it to be and then shoot it. Well, I just realized that, or remember that this grade rod only goes up to 8 feet. So I can't actually, because my wall is 9 feet down, so I can't actually shoot it in that manner because I was already 2.5 feet. It needs to go down 9 foot, so I wouldn't have enough rod. So I'll just come down here. I got an orange mark where I know that this is grade because I shot it. And I'll set everything to this. All right, so I got everything set up again. I'm further down in the bottom here, and we're basically right at 6 foot. So 6 foot will be grade, which is easy, simple math. So if I'm at 5 feet, I know I have to go down a foot. If I'm at 7 feet, I know I need to fill in 1 foot. So now I'll just move it. I'll just move it around and mark where I think is high and measure a couple spots where I'm not sure. Like the clay I'm not worried about, because the clay, this side, I can move, I can do anything I need with it. So if it's a dot, it's on grade. If it's a +1, it'll be above grade. -1 would be below, or whatever, minus whatever. All right, so same thing. I'm just going to kind of place this on here. I got to walk back over there. Since this is perfectly level, I can just swivel over till I see what I'm looking for. And this is showing, once I can get it, 6 foot 4.5. So I'm 4.5 inches low right there, which is fine because, well, I gotta think about this. So that's 9 foot. So I need a 4-inch slab plus 4-inch of base rock. So I got to go down 8 feet from there, or 8 inches, I mean. So I really need to be at 6'8". So my walls are 9 feet tall. My footer is 10 inches. Underneath that, I need 4. So we're at 1.02 or 14 inches. I'm just going to verify my plans real quick, but I'm pretty sure I got to be 14 inches lower than where I am currently. And once I can verify that, I'll go around and mark everything. All right. So I'm glad I looked at my plans, because I was wrong. And I wrote all this down already, but I left my notebook. But anyways, my footings are a foot thick, so I need to go down on that other side. I'll have to go down 16 inches, so 4 inches of base rock plus 12 inches of concrete. And then I also have, so I want my slab subfloor or subgrade to be 8 inches below my footers. I need, currently I'm at 6 feet. That's my finished height. And so I'm just going to go another 8 inches down. This one was shooting at right about 6'4". So I'll just come over here and I'll do a minus sign and then a 4. And so that'll tell me that I have to go down 4 here. And then right above it, I probably have to go down like a foot because it shoots up quite a bit. So I'll run back over here, check it again, make my adjustments, and I'll just continue to do that as I see fit. If it's pretty consistent, I'll only do it every like 10 feet or so. But if there's a lot of different stuff going on, a lot of different grades and levels, then I might have to change it. Once I get my subgrade, then I have to figure out where all my plumbing's going to be, and then I'll have to go deeper for all that. I'm at 5'8". So yeah, I got to go down 1 foot. So this is minus 12. And then I'm just going to continue to stay in line with my whatever it's called, my level. It's right here. Set my level, or not my level, my grade rod up again. And I'm guessing I'm probably another foot high there. So I still got quite a bit of rock that I got to go through. About 5'3". So what was I supposed to be at? Was that 6? Yeah. 6'8" is where I'm supposed to be. And this will be minus 17. Right on. All right, well, I'll keep shooting this grade, and then I'll get back in the machine and start busting rock out, and just keep working. I doubt we can see it from up here, but I shot grade in several spots. Minus 17 is the highest I have to go. Down, I have minus 13, minus 13, minus 10, minus 14. The least amount is 4 inches. So it is, it's still quite a bit of rock in there, but should be able to get it done. Not today, but tomorrow, hopefully. I have the rock for, what day is it, Friday? I still have it for 5 days, so yeah, I'll be good on time. But a little out of breath, running back and forth. Pretty fat and out of shape though, also. Trying to think of the most efficient way to break this rock out. If I start at the highest point and work my way down, or start at the lowest and then work my way back to the highest. I think I'll do the lowest to the highest. I think if I do that, I can break off bigger chunks. Oops. But most of that probably about 4 inches, but that's along the edge, so that's gonna have to be more. I gotta go a foot plus 4, 16 inches, so I need to go down another 12 feet in this corner, or 12 inches. And that's for the footing. hit some incredibly hard rock that I'm sitting on top of right now. So I'm gonna work on just clearing out all of this chunk rock that I've already got down to. I'm a couple inches high, 3 inches high on the far corner, and then basically right where my bucket is down there, I'm 4 inches low, which is kind of lower than anywhere else. I picked the lowest spot to see what I needed to do. So I'm pretty close, in all honesty, of where I need to be. So I'll just clear it out and then flip around and get to braking. wish I had a way to separate these large rocks from the small rocks. I mean, I guess I could make something to do that, but these big chunks would be kind of cool to make the fireplace out of. Well, I've shot grade again through some rock up there so I could see how much further I got to go down on this side. I got to add in a couple spots, go down an inch, down 12 inches, 8 inches, 6 inches, 12, 14, 8. So it's not so bad. It's getting through the rock decently well until I hit this ridge. I don't know if we can see the shadow difference, but it's this really hard gray limestone. Maybe here's a good example. You got our traditional white limestone, and then this gray stuff, so much harder, and it breaks really poorly, like really poor. I have to do it every couple inches instead of being able to take big slabs. But yeah, it's very dense, very heavy. It's hard rock. Looked it up last night, and there's different types of limestone and how dense it is and everything like that. And that gray stuff is some of the hardest that there is. So I'll just have to keep working it, work my way slowly through it, break it up small. So I'm gonna put this bucket. Take this bucket off, put my hammer back on, and get the busting. Well, this is slow, to say the least. Making progress. I got about this much done to close to my subgrade level. And it took about an hour to break it. And so unless this starts to lighten up and not be so difficult, this is going to take several more days of breaking rock. So we'll see what happens. But it's getting late. I'm getting tired, and I will see you guys in the next one. It is November 8th. It's a Saturday morning. We're back at it. Gotta grease the pump again. Or not the pump, the hammer, the breaker. Oh, shows that there's a deer at my deer blind right now. Yep, there is a little doe. I don't want to spook her off, so she was staring at me. I'll just go the other way. Anyhow, I got this hammer for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I got to return it on Wednesday. So I got 4 solid days left that I can use it. Hopefully it doesn't take me that long. That would kind of suck. Been breaking for about 2.5 hours and got a bunch done. I got essentially all of this I broke last night, and all of this I broke this morning. Some of it's breaking really well, some of it's really hard. This was all incredibly hard here, and then it got easy again, and it's hard here. So I think there's probably a vein or something that's of that really hard material that I have to get through. Greasing up the pin. Let's put grease in the bucket. Really what I need to do is put some more spacers. Try to tighten this bucket up a little. It is a little sloppy, but it's all right for now. Trying to figure out where I'm going to put all this stuff. I think I'm going to throw it. Maybe try to throw it behind this pile here. I don't want to over dig. You know, because I got to add some rock to there. I'm gonna shoot grade down there to make sure that I'm not too deep or too shallow. All right, I'm 4 inches low right there. Good morning, everyone. It's the first cold day of the year. It's 20 degrees. I would be fine if it was 20 degrees. I just can't find any hats. All my hats are still packed away in boxes. So I'll have to sort out that. I'll be inside the excavator most of the day, so that shouldn't be a big problem staying warm or anything. And plus there's no wind, so that's making quite a big difference. But it is Monday the 10th. So I have another two full days that I will have my rock breaker. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's been quite a bit of progress happening. I've busted feet of rock, and it's really, I don't think it's very easy to tell, but you know, over here, that's a good 2 feet down. Again, it might be hard to tell, but it's It's been a lot of work, to say the least. But I think that we're finally down to subgrade. Subgrade being 8 inches below the top of my slab in the basement. And we're on rock on almost all of it. So initially I thought that maybe I would just pour directly on top of the bedrock, except the spots where I was going to run my plumbing. Ultimately I decided, because it's not like this bedrock is perfectly flat. Some spots are low, some spots are high. I decided it would be better if I just went ahead and dropped it all that 8 inches, so that way I have, you know, 4 inches of base rock that I can help kind of distribute that weight more evenly. What I was worried about is that in a couple spots I would have maybe 2 inches of concrete, because the rock would be coming up, and in the spot right next to it there could be 6 inches of concrete because I busted more there or something like that. And my concern is that it would just make it more liable to crack, and I didn't want that. So decided just to go ahead and take it down, which, taking it down 8 more inches, well, because initially when I did the calculations we measured it and I determined I needed to go about approximately 1 foot over a 1,300 square foot area. That's what it averaged out to be. But in reality, it was actually going to be, it would be 20 inches, you know, because I had to add 8 inches for my subgrade. And I didn't think about that until afterwards, because initially when I measured everything, we went to grade, and I didn't want to over dig if it was going to be clay. So anyways, long story short, I guess, is that added almost, I'm trying to remember what it said, dropping another 8 inches added, what did it add? I don't know. It added like 60 cubic yards of rock or something like that. You know, it went from being about 100 tons of rock to I think somewhere like 180 tons, if I remember. And these are calculations made by ChatGPT. I didn't calculate any of this, but it hopefully I'm not missing anything, and I'm checking all my all my plans and looking at everything correctly and understanding what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, well, I guess what I'm gonna do this morning is measure a couple spots that I have down here, just to make sure that everything is lower than my 8 inches. If it's lower, it's fine. I have plenty of rock to add. And then if it's above that 8 inches, then I'm gonna have to take it down. So yeah, that's basically what we have today. Yeah, I'm just gonna get to work and hopefully I can get this done today. Oh, I do have to move this giant pile of rocks. I gotta move this whole giant pile of rock because I still have rock that I need to bust underneath that. Not very much, but there's still rock. So I'm gonna get that going. I gotta put some fuel in the machine and try to stay warm. Alrighty, so I got it all broken out. I had to move this big pile of rocks. It extended all the way out to somewhere in this general area right here. So I had to dig all of that back, and then as I was digging that back, I found this hole in which there's a couple more spots I still need to fill. But earlier when I was digging, trying to see how deep the bedrock was, that was one of the areas that I dug down, and I never hit bedrock after like 3 or 4 feet past this current level of bedrock. So I decided to stop digging. But I dug out all the fill that I put in there until I got back to the hard pack, and then I backfilled it with some of the rock. And I'll do the same thing in a couple spots over there. But yeah, I just measured a couple high spots, made sure that where it was high, it was low enough that I didn't need to break anything else. And then right as I was about to back out and park the excavator on top up here. I needed to curl the breaker so that I could get it up over these rocks without any issue, and I curled it too much, and I pinched this hydraulic hose right here, and of course hydraulic fluid was spraying everywhere, but it's not a big deal. I'll take off the hose and get a new hose, put it on it, but yeah, so that should be it. I'm gonna get that hose taken off and then get it replaced, but I'm glad to be done breaking. That was a lot. It's a lot of rock to go through. But anyhow, I'm gonna get off and catch you guys later.